The next square for our 11th row is this mitred square. These are worked separately from the rest of the blanket. The pattern's available from knitrowan.com. There are 8 of these squares in total. There'll be 1 on each corner and there'll be 2 joined together in pairs that are along the centre panel. There are so many different ways of working in the round to create these, but the tutorial I'll be showing you today is on double pointed needles. Firstly, cast on the 8 stitches, then distribute 4 onto another needle. Put them next to each other and slide them down to the other end. The first row you're going to increase by knitting into the front and back of every stitch. You've now doubled the amount of stitches with 8 on each needle. For the next round, knit all stitches. And then distribute them over the 4 needles. It's a lot easier to work with the 2 needles to start off with, just until you've got a few more stitches on your needles. So put 4 into one needle. And then slip another 4 onto a needle here. This is going to be the centre of the mitred square. Here we've got a square that's been worked for a few rows, and you can see where the lace is starting to form on the corners as well. So you're following the pattern, knitting 7 stitches. Yarn forward, knit 1, yarn forward, and knit 8 stitches. As you're doing this with each yarn forward, you're increasing the stitches on a row, so every round you'll have increased 8 stitches. Something to also bear in mind when you're working the mitred squares is that you'll need to block them, because to start off with they end up with quite a curved edge. So you just need to block them out before you start sewing them together. Once you've knitted all 8 of these mitred squares, follow the instructions to sew 4 of them into the corners between the panels of release 2. The other 4 squares need to be sewn together in pairs to create 2 panels that will eventually sit between the squares created in our next pattern release. Make sure to refer to the pattern to see which colours should be joined together. The first way to join the two squares together is by using backstitch. Put the right sides together and have your yarn threaded through your needle. Go through both layers and back through to the front. I never put a knot or anything in the end, I just sew the ends in afterwards. Go back about halfway, go all the way through, and then back to the front. You want it to be tight enough so that when you open it out, you're not going to see any holes, but you don't want it to be too tight that it's going to gather the whole thing together. Then from the right side, it should look nice and neat so that you shouldn't be able to see the other colour. And then once you press that out or block it out, it should be nice and flat. The second option for joining your panels together is by using mattress stitch. And I find that is a lot neater compared with backstitch. So start by bringing your yarn to the front of the work. And you've got right sides of the work facing as well. Go to the back and then back up. When you go back to the other side, you're going to go back into the same place as you came out and back up. Back into the same place, back up. And you're almost creating a ladder effect. Once you've done this for a couple of stitches, gently pull that together. And it'll draw both ends of your work. Don't forget to share your progress with us on social media. Thanks for joining in.